Hello, everybody. My name is Eric Kasloff, and welcome to Smells Like Teen Horror. Now, I got a question for you. Is it possible for a franchise to be absolutely perfect? I mean, for every movie in it to be a 4.5 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5? And the answer is yes, of course. The Twilight franchise, all of those movies are perfect, and I sacrifice a goat every morning to Stephanie Meyer because she is the goat. Another thing that I think is perfect trilogy wise is the Before trilogy. All of those movies are great, but to be realistic, within the horror world, I do feel that Scream is perfect. I know a lot of people don't like 3 that much, myself included, but if Scream 3 is people's least favorite out of your franchise, you're probably doing something right. The other franchise that I honestly feel is perfect is The Evil Dead. Every one of those movies are completely amazing, and Evil Dead Rise does not fail in any way, shape, or form. Almost. This is a completely spoiler free review, so I'm going to be very vague with the story and about the things I like and dislike. I'm going to be looking at my phone a lot to make sure I get the names right because I only saw it this weekend and think I need a little bit more time or one more viewing before I can do my ranking. And of course, do a spoiler review. I don't want to give away anything because you really need to see this movie. So we start off with our main character, Beth, who is a guitar tech for a punk rock band who finds herself in a situation where she is going to need her older sister. She travels out to LA to see her sister, Ellie, and yeah, as we find out, Ellie and her family are having a whole bunch of problems of their own. And then the Deadites show up, and holy cow, do the Deadites show up in this movie. Is it as brutal as the remake in 2013? No, but man, is this movie brutal. There are things that happen to characters in this movie that, man, made me feel upset and sad when I walked out of the theater. It was like, man, did they really need to go that hardcore with it? It's like you could have went right at the line, but this movie does not just cross the line in things it does to its characters. It sets the line on fire and then pisses it out. Yeah, another thing you get in this movie is a lot of claustrophobia, and I think it's because the bulk of the movie takes place inside an apartment building and an apartment, complex altogether. And since I've lived in apartments my whole life, I've only been out to cabins in the woods maybe 3 or 4 times, so I don't know, cabins always feel more open and fresh air, but apartment buildings are just claustrophobic, and that's what the movie does so well. I could not breathe. I felt for every single character in this movie. And that is something the movie does well, because the most important thing in your movie, whether it be a slasher movie, comedy, drama, romantic comedy, possession movie, is the characters. We have to care about the people that the scary stuff is happening to, so we get scared for them. And they do almost a perfect job in this. They do with the family, but with the side characters, man, I just wish they would have gone a little bit deeper. Like, there is an opening and closing segment to the movie that I don't think needed to be there. They're cool, don't get me wrong, but they don't need to be in this movie. I would have much rather have seen the family interacting with their neighbors. So that way, when the Deadites, do their Deadite things, you'd feel more impacted by it. There was a glimmer of that in one scene involving the middle daughter. I believe was the middle daughter and one of her neighbors. He wanted her to come over and watch the Nightmare movies. And by the way, perfect first date thing to do. And I wish we could have gotten more of that. There's a next door neighbor who's really religious. I would have liked to see him help the family more. There's another member of the family who's like a conservative gun owner, and one of the daughters, the daughter that I just mentioned, is really liberal. I would have liked to have seen some not angry banter, but fun banter between them. So, yeah, would have liked to have seen more than that. And here's a negative: I hate seeing other family members suffer. I know it's weird. Like when I saw You're Next, it broke my heart. Spoiler warning for an over 10-year-old movie. When the mom and dad had to watch their daughter get decapitated, that messed me up really bad. So that does happen in this movie. Plus side, no animal deaths. There could have been one, but it did not happen, and that always makes Eric a happy camper when an animal does not die in a horror movie. So yeah, if I had to give the Evil Dead, not the Evil Dead, Evil Dead Rise a score, it would be right now a 4.5 out of 5. If they would have taken out the opening scene and the closing scene, or maybe, yeah, just completely take that out, give us more time with the family, it would have been a perfect 5 out of 5. So here are my questions. Did you see Evil Dead Rise? What are your thoughts? Comment below. Also, comment below your ranking. I will have mine out on Saturday once I've thought about the movie more. And hey, I'm going to ask you to do me a big, huge favor. If for some reason you liked my incoherent, rambling tangents, pauses, and sometimes coughs, please hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I got a question for you.
What are you waiting for?